Hi everyone, welcome to Cosmic Turtles. My name is Tina, and today we're going to do some channeling. There's things that are hidden and they're coming to the surface. Those things are not pleasant. It causes an emotional upheaval. It appears like it's evil to us, to our own perspective. It's things we did not want to deal with. We can get through this. There's so much around us to be able to help us with transmuting that energy. It says don't be afraid. Fear is an illusion. That's what it's going to bring up, is that fear, that inner fear, the one that touches us at our basic instincts. That says have no fear, don't be afraid. Be courageous. When you sit, you speak with yourself. Observe your internal talk. How do you talk to yourself? Do you put yourself down like others have? Repeating old patterns. It's our beliefs, old beliefs. Change the internal talk. See yourself as amazing and beautiful. Don't allow the dark to take you over. What happens before was just mistakes. You learn from them. You extract the lessons. It becomes wisdom of your experiences. Nothing is done in vain. Stay away from jealousy and envy of others. Comparing yourself to them does you no good. Instead, discover who you are, and you'll discover something absolutely more amazing than who you were jealous and envious about. You'll see that you're even more than that. So there's nothing to be jealous or envious about other people. There's no need to compare. If you're still doing that, you got a lot of work to do on the inside, and you got a lot of time. Just know that those that you're looking up to, they won't put up with your energy and they won't want you around. So this is a alone journey until you discover there is no need to be jealous or envious of anybody. Only your opinion of you matters, not what others say you should be. Not even your own internal talk telling you should be more like her. No. You can be inspired by people, but that inspiration is to be used as a tool for you to discover your own awesomeness. Inspiration is the key, the way to seek your own success. in accomplishing this for yourself. There's a fog in the collective, and it's traveling around, trying to blind some people's consciousness. This too shall pass, it's temporary. Just know that when it shows up, it's just time to stand still and ground yourself. When you do that, the fog disappears because it's only looking for people that are not grounding themselves so they can feed. This is what it disguises itself as a nice fog, but it's not. This fog will appear on a physical level, this fog will appear in behind the eyes of people you know and you love. And if they're not grounded in certain aspects, they'll lash out, project towards you. Just know that this is temporary. It's not their fault. They're just unknowing, and this is part of their internal work, not you to point it out to them. It's up to them to discover it for themselves. Just know and don't be offended by whatever it is they're trying to project, because they're trying to feed off of you, because you're the awakened one and you're shining your light. And this fog is seeking to dim that light, and it can't. It's just trying. The only one that can dim your light is yourself. It's your own conscious willpower. If you believe, like, if you believe it can put you down, then it will. If you believe it cannot put you down, then it won't. It really is what we consciously accept and what we consciously accept to let go of. Have time sitting in silence with yourself. You'll hear. Some people hear music. Some will hear like a whole bunch of people talking in the background, like it's a crowd of people. Some will hear static, like a static noise, and that's okay too. It all is. You're listening on the inside of yourself. At the same time, you'll ground yourself. Many of you will awaken with being able to channel information. That's when your channel is clear, and it'll speak through you of things that you have accomplished, things that, and maybe not in this lifetime, maybe it's from another lifetime, but it'll come from your own wisdom, the well of wisdom of humanity, and you'll have access. There's a lot of trust building exercises being done between people and the universe, people and the divine, people and their inner selves, however it is that you see it as. But there's trust building exercises being done that are happening. Go with that flow and you recognize, I'm being tested. Know that you'll be successful. Know that you'll be successful. subconscious mind just said the music stopped. There was no more bird sounds. I said, okay. I checked to see if changed video or no, it just stopped. Nobody touched the remote. So it's a teaching for me to be in silence. The universe, I can still hear the computer going, it's not helping. They're laughing. The universe has a sense of humor. And a lot of times you're made to look the fool, but not in front of everybody, just between you and the universe. It's those moments where you feel, oh geez, I feel so silly. Oh geez, like, oh, kind of like that. Like, and I've had a lot of those moments. At least I know when I go, at least I know that when I look at my own life review, that I'll be laughing too. That's how you know you love yourself too. You're not so hard on yourself. You're serious at work on improving everything about yourself, but you're not so hard on yourself, you know. They just want me to talk naturally. That's the whole thing. To become who you are, to actually accept who you are, and all your quirkiness and all your what you've been told all your life was either weird or odd or because these are the things that you heard from other people. It was just their opinions, but you were just being yourself, and if it affected you personally what these people thought, you would start put those pieces of you away and buried. And with these awakenings that's happening, those that did not look at these pieces for a long time, they start surfacing back up. It's pieces of you. It's not all dark. It's you put a label on it saying this is not good, this is dark. So when it comes back up, you're seeing it and you're like, because you see the label, you don't look at what's inside. It's like getting a whole bunch of boxes and they mislabeled stuff. Just look at it like that. You're looking at pieces and parts of yourself, but it's all not the right labels. Never mind what it says, just look in the boxes. You'll be surprised at what you find in your boxes that you put away, that you thought you had to put away to be able to be accepted or to connect with others or to be part of something. Look in those boxes. Never mind what labels you put in them way back when. Way back when, we didn't know how to label stuff. Someone said it was that, so we just stuck it on there and then pushed it under a rug somewhere. I challenge you to go and look inside. If you want to. It's whenever you're ready, right? But for those of you that need a little boost in motivation, I challenge you. Go look inside. Tell me what you find. Tell me what you first thought it was, and then tell me what you actually found it was. And you'll be surprised. It could be something useful for nowadays. So we were born with all these things already in us, ready. We weren't a blank slate like some were taught, or the days of old were taught, a blank slate, nothing. Maybe the physical vehicle. Birds just started. They start singing when the sun starts rising up. Nobody touched it. Nobody touched the remote. And it just started back again. Well, that was distracting, wasn't it? I'm not supposed to go with my train of thought. I'm supposed to allow the intuition, the message to come through, and then it deciphers into the words that I already know. So we were born with everything we need, and the physical body itself was in development. As we grow, we learn how to use this physical vehicle, but we haven't. It's like we weren't using it totally with all its capacities yet, and we're learning that. We're gonna discover more because there's people that were born so gifted that parts of them didn't get developed as everybody else usually gets developed. Some people are deemed geniuses in what they know and what they came with, but they're lacking in some other. Well, it's because all the energy had to go for that one thing to be able to bring that message to the universe, to the rest of us here. I have a friend of mine. He's autistic, and growing up, he struggled because he lacked the ability to recognize facial expressions and what they actually mean. He received a camera when he was a boy from his parents, and he started videotaping everything. For 15 years, he videotaped everything. And he had a big collection. At the time, it was VHS. So through all this, he learned something within himself and from the outer world, because he looked at things differently. And what he brings is a deeper aspect to what the rest of us would take for granted. And if we understood that little aspect, which is not very little, but it's deeper, if we understood that deeper aspect, we would have so much more understanding and know how to use our physical vehicle in a more efficient way. And so he came to have this experience on earth, and he wrote a book. And that was part of his healing for himself, to integrate and ground this information. This, not this information. And because he grounded it and created something, that energy is now put into the collective as something we can reach for and learn from. Or if we happen to be around in the same time he's on Earth, in the same reality, the same timeline, then we can go and buy his book and read. It's a French book. I'm not sure if he got it translated in English yet, but it's called The Puzzle of My Autism, Le Casse-tête de mon autisme. He's a good friend of mine. He helped me. I helped him. It was a moment in time, and then he went on his adventure and he discovered himself. I went on mine and I discovered myself. And now we just like two old friends come back, chat. No time had passed. And we're still the same people. It's just this time we brought something. We did something. When before we thought we were nothing. And now we know there's something that we can help bring a type of understanding. Each one of us has this inside. It was really cool to see that the the video on TV, the background music, it stopped and then on its own, and then it started back on its own. Oh, it was a pleasure having this interaction with you. You guys have a good day or a good night, depending where you are in the world. Continue having those conversations with yourself. After a while, you won't even need to look at readers or anything like that. You just go inside and have a conversation. This is Tina from Cosmic Turtles, and we'll see you next time.